happy Ace Week. I'm again filming this in advance. It's October now, but not Ace Week yet. So I'm at least gonna have 2 videos for this week, for Ace Week this year, which is good. So basically this is kind of like a companion video to the video I published yesterday, aka the one where I talked about what Finnish media, you as an English speaker or someone who understands English, can experience without knowing Finnish. So this is basically semi flip side of that, like basically what if I didn't have the English skills I do have, then what kind of A spectrum media could I experience? What can I read or watch in Finnish that has A-spec characters? It's not a lot, not really. Like, I'm glad we are having more books and things in Finnish, which some of I mentioned in the previous video, and I'm gonna talk about in other videos, hopefully. The lighting is very terrible, but my hair looks better. My sister cut it a little bit, so it looks much better now. So anyway, so basically first I'm gonna talk about books that have been translated into Finnish that have some spectrum representation, and then it's mostly Netflix. And then it's gonna look at my DVD collection. Some of those might have Finnish subtitles, whatever. So first of all, there's not that many authors who write A-spectrum characters who have been translated into Finnish. I think I can only think of 3, like Matt Wells's Murderbot series. Like, I haven't read those, so I don't know what the rep is actually like in those books. But they have translated the first one, and they're gonna translate the second one this year. But I haven't been able to read either one, the first one, because like it's always very popular it's always out from the library, and I'm gonna think about buying it, but I haven't read any. I've heard good things, not nothing specific about the rep, but anyway. So Otherwell's Murderbot Diaries, they are translating them, and then kind of annoying for me, what they keep telling when I look for asexuality in Finnish, I keep getting Seika Murata's books. Like, they translated this Convenience Store Woman into Finnish, and they also did Earthlings, which, like, I'm not really a fan. Like, I didn't love this book. It's not the worst. That's Earthlings. So like, I didn't love this book, but I was kind of curious to read it in Finnish, but now you can't basically find it anywhere in a physical form, so that's kind of weird. But I did hate Earthlings. Just like, I really fucking hated that book, so it's annoying that they keep you wanna read about asexually, read Earthlings. Like, no, not a fan. And then finally, as orders go, as far as I can tell, it's like basically, like, in many ways, it's Alice Oseman. They are really doing a lot for A-spectrum representation. And when I say A-spectrum, I do mean arrow and A's. I'm not saying A-spectrum, I'm saying A-spectrum. So anyway, so like, I think they released this one August. This is the translation of Solitaire. Like the title, it's like basically a solo game, which is not how we translate the game Solitaire. It's actually Pasi and Anssi, which is actually a fun. It should be something that we embrace in Finnish queer community. Like, it's Solitaire, the game, translated as Pasi Anssi, which is like 2 male names, Pasi and Anssi. So sometimes you feel like, the only men I need are Pasi and Anssi. It's kind of like the Ben and Jerry joke in the same way. So they've translated Solitaire. I haven't read this yet, but I'm gonna be interested in reading. I read this one I only read Solitaire this year, so it's going to be interesting to compare the translation. And other than that, they have been translating the Heartstopper webcomic, like the graphic novels. I think that they're up to the first 3 volumes, and now they have already published Nick and Charlie. And for Christmas or in December, they are gonna publish volume 4 of Heartstopper in Finnish. I mean, and then they are also translating this winter as Charlie's Christmas for some reason. And I don't know anything about the properly A spectrum books of Alice's. Like, are they gonna do radio silence at some point? Are they gonna do Loveless? I think they are very much concentrating on the Heartstopper books right now and what's related to that. So, and that's basically it. And I would say like I like that Heartstopper has Tori and Aled, and like Aled is queer in Heartstopper, but you don't know anything about demisexuality from Radio Silence, and Tori is like, she's a side character, and her asexuality is gonna be, I don't know anything about Volume 5. I haven't followed it on Tapas or anywhere. I'm waiting for the graphic novel. But I I saw something when Heartstopper Season 2 came out. I went to Tori's tag on Tumblr, so I just saw something. So they are like slowly establishing that. But I'm not. I think Alice has says it's gonna be like properly canonizing Tori's asexuality in Heartstopper. So hopefully that's gonna happen at some point. So we are gonna get something more concrete. But like Solitaire, it's great. I can see a lot of aspectrumness in it, but it's not really something like I would really like it if Radio Silence or Loveless would be translated, or something from Alice Can, or Alice, or Darcy Littlepatcher. I'm not actually know if the Puppy War has been translated. I don't think so. But anyway, there are lots of really good A-spectrum books, or books that have A-spectrum representation. It would be nice if some of that would be translated into Finnish. But the thing about reading the stuff in Finnish, it's gonna be more expensive. Like I didn't buy these from the same stores, but like this cost me 12 euros. This one was 26 euros. Although I did have like a couple of like there was a discount, like 20% discount on books, and then I had a couple of gift cards, so I didn't pay that much for this, like physically, out of my own money. But it was still like 26 euros, and that was the cheapest I saw. And I understand that because like Finnish market is a lot smaller, and you need to compensate translators and all that stuff. So I absolutely understand that, but I don't know. I just would like to have the option to read more stuff in Finnish, especially since I've now actually, like this past 6 months or something, I have really starting to read more in Finnish, and it's fun. I should do that more. So the second part, let's move on from books, kinda. So then it's like in many other ways, it's Netflix. Netflix has Finnish subtitles, which means I can watch stuff like, oh well, some of these are not Netflix original, but they are basically airing on Netflix in Finland, like Shadowhunters, Legends of Tomorrow. I also have those on DVD because, like, never know how long they're gonna actually be on Netflix. Then you have stuff like Sex Education, BoJack Horseman, The Imperfects, kinda One Piece. Like Luffy is definitely coded, but I'm never gonna get a proper labeling. I don't think so, but yeah. Oh, and Heartbreak High. That one has, and of course Heartstopper, the TV show. So like, I'm very thankful that Netflix has a lot of flaws, and it's not all of it's perfect, but at least like the ability that I can just switch the subtitles to Finnish and see people being asexual or talking about being asexual, and well, somewhat also aromantic. It is something that is good. Like, I like it, and it's not something like any other streamer is like giving me, or like very little Finnish actual media is giving me. Like I mentioned some of the previous video, some of the ones that do have like girl picture and Debian Ace. So it's nice to have little something like media, but not that much in Finnish. And then finally, I still buy DVDs. So some of these might have Finnish subtitles. Have Finnish have a Spectrum Prep and Finnish subtitles. I'm gonna just a moment. We are back. Yeah, I'm looking at my DVD collection. Here is my DVDs with a Spectrum Prep. At least kinda a Spectrum, or possibly. It's not really that much. I'm trying to, like this one. This is a Dutch movie, which has an A Spectrum side character, the best friend of a man whore character. I have Finnish subtitles. Other than that, I have random things. Some of the like, I don't know, these characters. These shows or movies kind of have a Spectrum characters, or possibly, or at least I can make a headcanons for them. Maybe. Or like something like, you know, I have Supergirl because they made girl dogs demisexual in the comics. Whether it shows on the TV show, I'm not sure because I haven't really watched it. Here are my seasons with Spooner on Legends of Tomorrow. These seasons have a version of Connor Hawk, who's asexual in the comics. And of course, my Shadowhunters. I don't actually know if this has Finnish subtitles. Here's another Finnish movie I forgot to mention. Oh, I've talked about this before. The husband in the movie kind of seems like seems something like gray sexual. And I've talked about that before. Then I have bunch of random things, like where sometimes someone might seem asexual, like Mandy Moore's character, American Dreams, Hangover, Zach Galifianakis' character is apparently demisexual, and demisexual, I keep saying demisexual, I mean asexual. Something in the Dirt, it doesn't have Finnish subtitles. I have the Canadian, Australian DVD. It has no subtitles, but it has a sexual character. Watchmen, and it's possible asexual representation. There's Brave. I don't know if my Mary and Max has. It doesn't have Finnish subtitles. It has English subtitles. So this isn't like, this is a perfect representation. Oh yeah. And American Horror Story Coven. That one has an asexual character. The Black Donnellys. No subtitles actually at all. That's a shame. I don't know. So here's what I have. Oh, and a couple of seasons of like Walking Dead and Gotham. Like one season of Gotham, because those possibly have characters who someone has kind of claimed as asexual, or possibly asexual, or relatable asexuals and stuff like that. But like, it's not a lot. And a break. I am back for a little moment still. So that was my DVD collection. Oh, I forgot, I also have 3 seasons of Expanse, but I'm rewatching them, so they went on my A-Spectrum shelf. So, like, yeah, it's I'm gonna hopefully make a video about this, but like having asexual representation and aromatic representation in Finnish media, actual Finnish language media, it's great because like as it's clear, we are not getting imported lots of we don't get a lot of literature translated that ends up having a spectrum representation. Like they are translated some young adult romances, even queer romances, but not a lot, and none of them have a spectrum rep. And what else was I supposed to say? And a lot of the other things that guide, like I really wish I could buy Artifice Girl. It has a asexual lead character, not available in Finland. I guess we are, like I mentioned before, we are not making as many DVDs, even of Finnish movies anymore. So that's a bummer. Like I like having physical media. So I would really like it if we could have more stuff available. And like I do want to support the fact that we do translate things. I have vaguely thought about buying Heartstopper in Finnish too. Like it's fun, but it's like, yeah, it's not like none of the what is available right now, other than Netflix. What's on Netflix is really gonna be like, yes, this is like I can see like so I can see a lot of things being familiar, relatable about solitaire, and I'm sure that also comes through in the book, in the translation. But it's like because solitaire was written by an RAs person that didn't know they were RAs at the time they were writing, then it's not gonna have the similar exploration of being RAs like Loveless is gonna have, or like the other authors. Like I wish they would translate these books, and so that a spectrum teenagers could have Finnish access to these books and this media. But yeah, I think this is it for this video. This is a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna be. It's a pretty rambly. At least a bit rambly. So happy continuation of Ace Week. I hope to make actual videos about specific instances of rep in Finnish media. Hopefully, where I can concentrate on one author or one book series or something. But at least I have these 2 videos going live for Ace Week. So, also I'm gonna see. I finally found a solid white ring. It doesn't really match my makeshift black ring, but it's something. And it actually kind of fits. I'm terrible with sizes sometimes. So, bye. Hopefully I will make more videos for Ace Week. Maybe during it. Bye.